Uh-huh. It's the owner. It's the owner. Yeah. um, team loyalty, and then they shifted over to player loyalty. So we talk about LeBron, we talk about Curry, and a lot of the all star, the superstar players. That's who the kids followed. They followed the player. And those that were Nick fans, they were Nick fans because it was a generational thing that was passed down. But you have a lot of momentum now with young kids are like, yeah, the Knicks, because kids go with what's hot, and then you turn around and you say, well, a kid might have said this year, I want to go to my first Knick game, and the parent it has to be like, nope.
Right.
I can take you to see the Nets. The Nets give away tickets. No,
Exactly.
and it's not shade. My school is blocks from the Barclays Center,
Mm-hmm.
and they have giveaways. You know,
Right.
but when do the Knicks don't do that?
No.
But you're missing an
Wow.
opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me
So you
see.
can go see the Nets for free?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
you
I'm
walk in a
coming to
school.
Brooklyn.
Well, yeah, walking in a school.
Considering the prices, they might as well be free compared to what the Knicks are.
Well,
Hello, everybody.
yeah.
I was busy stuffing my face
Hi.
earlier.
Hey, what's up, man? What's
What's
up?
up? What's up? Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. They give out. They have a lot of giveaways, especially to schools.
Right.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Let me find out if my man Ronan Black wants to add anything into this particular topic. Good evening, sir. Your mic is live as
He
well.
he's probably eating too.
Oh, more than likely.
No, I'm not here.
Ronnie, what's up? What's up?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on? You
What's up,
good, brother?
Roman?
What's up, Dave? What's up,
Ronan,
What's
Rich?
up?
we got our boy Roger Monfort. I don't know if you remember him from back in the day when we used to do blog talk with Mark Cunningham.
Okay.
Rest in
Hey,
peace.
what's going on? I'm sorry, I'm back.
What's up?
Yeah,
I was going to
I'm
introduce
sorry.
Ronan
No, I,
and
yeah.
I
Reggie.
had to. I tend to do something. Yeah, but
That's
at
okay.
the meantime, I was listening. Um, well, my whole thing about this with the prices on it, like Eve said, they don't really care. Dolan is like any other billionaire. They don't care about nobody but themselves. You understand what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want
That's so
personally.
sad.
I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want the Knicks to win on his watch.
Mm-hmm.
Actually
Oh,
wanted them
wow.
to bomb out so that he could sell the team. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I didn't want them to succeed. I'm being honest with you. You know what
Okay,
I mean?
okay.
I didn't want them to succeed because I know that if they won, this is what was going to happen. I kind of sensed that the
Mm.
prices would go skyrocket, and the regular working people that supported the Knicks from day one won't be able to come in there and watch a game and bring their
Right,
kids and buy stuff. You get what I'm
right.
saying?
So
For
So
sure.
Yeah.
not to
mhm.
cut you off, but the writing on the wall for me was when they got Charles Oakley banned from the Garden.
Mm.
I was
Mm.
like,
That was personal with Dolan. Dolan
don't
is
get me
is a
wrong.
very personal dude. Where if he doesn't like you or if you did something to him, he's petty. So
Yeah,
basically, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. When I was at Radio City or whatnot, working or whatnot, I think it was a party on one of the floors or whatnot. He was there, and I
Mhm.
had said something to him about the Knicks. I said, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Oh,
And he gave
oh.
and he gave me a look. I'm surprised I didn't get fired from that point and whatnot. I was shocked. I was like, what are you doing to my team,
I'm
dude?"
shocked too.
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
Wait
Rodney,
a
I'm
minute. How
shocked
many
you
years ago
wasn't.
was that?
I'm shocked you wasn't escorted out.
Yep.
Exactly, exactly. But
How
let
many
me.
years ago was that, all?
Oh man, we talking over 2 decades, man.
15.
2 decades.
Okay,
But what?
okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you were
yeah.
still a
Hmm.
Knicks fan then. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They can't,
Yeah,
Rod.
yeah, yeah.
They can't forget that I actually was a fan of the Brooklyn Nets for a little bit. Yeah.
No, you was. I'm still a fan of the Brooklyn Nets because that is another team that I do want to see succeed. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
I respect that. But these
Yeah.
guys are getting on me. It was like, oh, you can't come back. You can't come back.
No, but Rodney abandoned the Knicks. He
Wow.
abandoned them, and then somebody told him that the Knicks were going to be pretty good, so he jumped back on just
Whoa,
prior
whoa,
to this
whoa,
season.
whoa,
Now,
whoa,
now
whoa,
I
whoa.
supported it, and I was one of your biggest advocates to get back on. Some people wanted him to kiss the ring and some other things,
I'm not doing
uh,
that.
but
He wasn't
eventually
going to do that.
Nah.
Where's Bishop?
yeah, where's Bishop? But eventually we got Rodney on board just in time so that he can enjoy a parade in June.
And
So to set the
let me
record
just say this.
straight, I'm not a Knicks fan. Trust me.
Oh,
I
Oh,
Rodney, you should know that. I'm not a Knicks fan. Um, I didn't really support them, and trust me, I got the people of me booing me, acting crazy with me, and and I get that. You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm not jumping on no bandwagon just because I live in New York City.
Well,
I don't do that. But I stick with my guns. I
I
didn't like them then. I don't like them now.
Ooh.
oh
Right?
wow.
The players. I like Brunson. Cat is still suspect to me, and I don't know. That's my honest opinion. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. You get what I'm saying? I just think that they wanted it more. San Antonio was a little shell shocked, and that's it.
Listen, we appreciate honesty on the show,
Right. Yes. That
I'm gonna
we
tell you
definitely
something, right?
appreciate that.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I was the only
except for when
guy,
it's off.
the only guy, the only one on this panel. I said the Knicks are gonna win that stupid Sippy Cup, the Emirates Cup, and the NBA championship in the same season. And what happened? It's exactly like I said. And this is because I had confidence and I knew what the hell I was talking about. No
You
one
That's
else,
what it was.
But
no
you know
one
what?
else can, no one else can make this claim.
But when they played the cup, a lot of people didn't realize they played the Spurs and beat the Spurs in the cup.
I
100%.
know. Yeah,
A lot of
I
people
know.
forgot about that. That time I was a little bit. I said, wonder if this could be the NBA Finals. That was back then, and it
Right.
came into reality that it really happened.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Well, Rod Stradamus over here, he knew it all. He knew.
Oh,
let me
okay.
let me just say this real quick. I'm gonna get back to these tickets and whatnot because I forgot who brought up this point. Is it gonna stay at a high rate of pay for these tickets now?
If the people pay for them, hell yeah, they're going to stay
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Not,
Okay, you
I don't
remember?
feel if the media if people start complaining and bring it to the news and stuff like that, then Dolan would have to probably make some adjustments and lower the payment. That's only if people make complaints. That's it.
So,
And this
so
is
my
what I'm saying.
question, my
Yes,
question for you is this: is it because there's a couple of things happening that night? Besides it being opening night,
right.
and ring ceremony, raising the banner, and then also it just so happens to be that that team from Philly is coming in with their new shiny pieces. So
Exactly.
I don't know
maybe
if they
that
shiny.
all.
I don't know if they shiny.
Well, and yeah, well, they're new to them, but
Right.
you
Oh
know what
my
I mean. So,
god.
so maybe it's a perfect storm for this type of thing,
Mhm.
and then the remainder of the season, with less fanfare to do with the significance of the night. Maybe the prices will go back to just um, expensive, but not super expensive because it still is expensive anyway you put it.
Yeah.
Of
But I
course.
can't I can't see it sustainable to be $2,000 for nosebleeds.
Now it wouldn't work that
I
long.
can't. No, I
Yeah,
can't see that either. To tell you honestly, be honest with you, I don't see that happening like that.
not that Dolan would be
I
opposed
do.
to, but yeah,
No, I
And
think
and
I
I
think
do.
what he brought up was real right because it is ring night. The entering of Philly, the new team. The world probably gonna be watching this game.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean,
there's no question.
yeah.
Mm.
Red, you think it's sustainable? You think that they'll keep those prices?
Watch how many people show up.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna
Watch,
wait. I'm
watch how
sorry.
many
I don't
people
know.
show up. I'm
I
telling
don't
you.
agree. I don't agree, and I'm
Listen,
gonna tell you
I
why.
think.
I'm
Go
gonna tell
ahead,
you why.
R.
Who the hell is gonna pay $2,000 to want to go see the Utah Jazz? $2,000.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
people on the Upper East Side and the Upper West Side.
No,
But
I
but
don't
I
think so.
think I also think that people who can afford that on a regular basis are not going to want to sit up top.
Mm,
I don't think that it's just like you could do it for a game like that because of the specialness of the night,
of
and you
course,
can get people to do that.
of
But
course.
I don't remember what the prices were for the nosebleeds, but they were nowhere near $2,000. They weren't
I think they
$1,000.
average about 200, 250.
Yeah, yeah,
About
right.
that.
I think so because
But
I've sat up there on that Chase Bridge area and stuff like that. Those are
Right.
really nice. But there's no way I'm
but
paying
but
that.
No way.
but we're talking about us. We're talking about the average fan.
Right.
Okay, the average
Yeah,
fan, we know we're not doing it. But you get these fly by night people that's like, okay, with trust fund babies, and they're like, you know what? Why not? And it becomes a
yeah.
trend. It becomes a trend. I promise
Well,
you.
I pray that you're wrong because I would hate to believe
Listen,
that is what do they got? It's a 82 game season, so you got 41 home games, not including the playoffs.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know that is sustainable. Unless people just figure I just want to be in the garden.
Man,
But those aren't
But look
you
at
really
better
this.
fair.
They're
you
playing
better invest
Christmas
in
Day.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, you can imagine how much them tickets is going to be.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, they're going to
Astronomical.
take advantage of. They're going to be their opportunities to definitely take advantage of the calendar or the opponent and stuff like that. But I don't think on a regular Friday night, and like R said, Utah is coming in, or
right.
some of these other teams, and you look at the tickets and it's going to be $2,000 to sit up top. I if they can pull that off, more power to them. But then that's a bigger indictment on our society. I think if that's the
Huh.
case.
I still say that the best way is hit them in the pockets.
Yeah,
You gotta hit these. You got
yeah,
in order. You got. Sometimes we have to make a stand. You know what I'm saying? It may seem insignificant, but if you do it as a collective, a nice notable size of people that
yeah,
fight back financially and whatnot, it does wake them up. It does force them to take notice, and it might
yeah,
not make a difference, but they'll notice it and they could just like poo-poo it and just like say, it doesn't matter, whatever the case may be. We're gonna ride the coattails of the super rich and the corporations and the trust fund brigade. But again, you gotta make your voice heard. You gotta make your voice heard.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
gotta at least
I
try.
agree.
You gotta try.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You have to at least try.
Yeah,
You know?
you have to try, and enough people have to recognize that this is a problem.
Exactly.
Because here's the other piece of it is that there are a large number of fans who have already been priced out. So
Right.
at this point, you know, do they even care enough? There are people that have just made the come to the conclusion that, well, we're not going to be able to go to Nick games, and that's
Right.
it. Listen, if you got a family, $200 for one ticket is too much. If you're trying to bring your family out there, you can spend close to $1,000
Hmm.
just on tickets and trying to feed people.
Exactly.
So they might already be
Eat
in the.
before you leave the house.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
do. Listen. They got if you go right underneath the Penn Station, Popeyes is down there, and some of the other places. You can feed a
Man,
family. And
negative.
well, I'm just saying for those that choose. I mean, we're going to talk more about some food stuff later, but I'm just saying that
Auntie Anne.
there, you don't have to eat at the garden. You
No.
know. So there are other
What
ways,
is
but
it, like $10 for a slice of pizza?
I don't know about that.
Dang,
It's
yeah,
pretty high. Depending
yeah,
on where you go. It could be
you,
I
you
don't
$40.
think
being
I will.
generous.
Yeah, I think you are,
Wow.
and I
Wow,
don't know if
really?
I would bypass a regular pizza spot, on the corner in Manhattan to buy an MSG made pizza.
Exactly,
Yeah,
brother. Exactly. But
yeah,
it's amazing when you talk about the family aspect of this and whatnot,
yeah,
and talk about going out for an evening at the game where it should be moderately priced or whatnot. I
yeah,
mean, maybe what they should do if they had a heart, especially in regards to families, throw out some type of new, initiative, whatnot. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Maybe like a discount. family night or discounted tickets
Right.
for family.
Yeah.
They can do that, but you and like this title, like this show is titled. When is enough enough? You got enough money already.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have enough
Really.
money already.
Really. It's true. And I mean, everything is not to beat the dead horse, but everything in New York is expensive. I just last week, wife and I went to see Spider Man, and for 2 tickets, we spent over $40.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, did you? I guess you didn't. So you didn't have the 4DX
No, no,
because that's
That's
like $30 something.
crazy.
Exactly.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah,
Standard. That
yeah.
wasn't even IMAX.
No, no. Well, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. So,
Where'd you
Wow.
go? Fresh
yeah,
Meadows?
Fresh Meadows.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice movie
Fresh.
theater. Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, it's close to the
Okay.
house, and I like it. But yeah, but the thing is, yeah, and I bought the tickets with the senior discount.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Brilliant day.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
yeah.
Exactly. Welcome to the club, man. Let me move
I'm
on.
nice, not shamed.
Let's do some moving on, shall we? Let's get into
Coupon.
this next thing.
Yeah.
Should there be a hard salary cap in Major League Baseball and also in the NBA? I say this for I want to talk about this for a minute because I'm
Hmm.
sick and tired of seeing the rising salaries of these players. It's ridiculous. We
So,
got guys making yes, sir.
let me jump right in over that because that's an interesting segue from what we just came from.
Hmm.
So we just got through talking about how Dolan and his team is setting these prices.
Right.
Uh, there needs to be a cap on ticket prices. So
Hmm.
you say that, and I agree there should be some. It gets out of control with some of these salaries and stuff, but they always focus on the players. But if nobody's capping these owners for charging these prices and all the money that they're making off of merchandising and these TV deals and so forth. And so I just think it's an interesting segue coming from what the owners are able to do and how much there's no limit to how much they can charge. And then we transition over to
Right.
player salaries.
Okay.
So you're basically paying for how much these people are getting paid. Ridiculous amounts of money. You
Actually, I don't
know.
think you are. I think that they like to tell you this because they make you feel like some sense of I can't really say anything because I'm charging you exorbitant amount of money for tickets and merchandising and food and stuff like but um I'm
Hmm.
bringing in all this talent, and we have to pay for it somewhere. No, they got teams that ain't doing crap. The Knicks were never cheap, even when they had a team that sucked. They was
Gotcha.
expensive to go to the Garden when they won 17 games.
Right.
So the narrative that they like to spin is that well, you're paying for, like I'm not paying for this championship. I 53 years was payment enough.
Mm. Mm. Hold on for a second. Let me bring Sir Bishop. Your mic is live. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you coming on, Bishop. And also, I'm gonna introduce you to my boy Roger. Roger, this is the Bishop that is joining us. How are
Hey
you, sir?
Bishop, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Can you guys and lady hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you, Roger. This is the ring that R was supposed to kiss. Just so you put that there.
Well,
Wow. Wow.
well, I mean, not for nothing. He did come all the way to Charlotte and kiss that ring. So
Nah, I ain't kissed no
Okay.
goddamn ring. I ain't
You
good.
didn't
I
tell
went
me
to
you
Charlotte. I
kissed
ain't
the
kissed no
ring.
damn ring.
I know you
Stop
went to
that.
Charlotte.
Stop that
Wow.
bullshit, man. Nobody kissed no ring. Nobody bent the knee. None of that nonsense. So stop that
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah. He said,
nah,
he
actually,
said, tell me how this ring tastes.
Yeah, okay.
Be right
Wow.
back.
That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much are these players actually making?
So
I'm
Varies.
curious.
so
It
when you
varies. It
when you
varies.
ask when you ask should there be a hard salary cap? Is there a hard cap on how much TV money these owners are getting and how much money they're getting off of these crazy ticket prices and crazy concession prices? If there's no cap on that, then there shouldn't be a cap on what the players can make. And this idea that these self-imposed for the NBA in particular, for these self-imposed aprons, these fictitious lines that the owners and the NBA have come up with to kind of like limit how much they got to pay players. It's ridiculous because when they signed this new TV deal, everybody was jumping up and giving each other wraparounds and so forth and so on because they were saying how much money they were going to all be making because of these new TV deals. And now you want the lion's share of the new TV deal money to go to the owners. And it's
Well,
like,
What
Bishop,
about your man Kawhi?
yeah, well, that's one instance where somebody is like, yo, I'm going to use the system and milk the system just like the system's been milking me. I'm not mad at Kawhi. I'm not mad at his people. And as a matter of fact, maybe that might have been his uncle or somebody, that's getting a kickback on the side. It's like, whatever. They got the money, whatever.
I'm gonna say something that's not gonna be popular. Um, they're
Okay.
the owners. Should not the owners have a lion's share if they're the owners? Again, they're the owners. They should have a lion's share.
Yeah,
I
but
don't disagree with that.
no, I'm
Let
not
me
saying
just
that.
say this. Yeah, go ahead, Bishop.
No, I'm not saying that they shouldn't get a decent amount. But if it wasn't for the players, they wouldn't have a franchise. They wouldn't have a team.
So this is kind of like the chicken and the egg thing
Okay.
we're rolling into.
Yeah. So, to answer your question, and I agree with Bishop. Yeah, I don't have a problem. Listen, they're business people, and
Right.
they're in this obviously to make money. Some of them are more business people than they are fans. But the issue that I have is don't talk about players making too much and point that out as being a problem and that they're greedy and things like that, and then turn around and say, but I should be able to make as much as I want to make. I think that that's where I have the problem. I think that if you have the God given talent and the ability to play basketball, and a lot of money is moving, through the NBA and other sports, I think that you have a right to be well compensated. But I don't like them to push the idea that the amount of money that's being made is only a problem when we talk about the players.
Mm.
But don't talk to me about how much money that I'm making. Oh, we don't want to have this conversation. No, there's no problem with that, but there's a problem when it comes to the
Oh,
players. There's
it's
a lot of
selfish.
money, more money. Yes, selfish. There's more money than any of us will ever see in several lifetimes. So we're in a different bracket of economic bracket. But I have no problem with people making money. But don't
I
make it
just
sound like only
Can
one has the right to make the money and the other
I,
one needs to be
I want to
contained.
ask. I want
Can
to
I
ask
can
a
I say
question.
something on that?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I understand what you're saying. I guess we might not be on the same you know, with that. Um I'm not with the owners, don't get me wrong, but I'm with production. And if I'm paying somebody that batting average is 240 and he's making like $50 million a year, I have a problem with that. It is is is
100%.
is production. It's production. You got NBA players that's sitting on the bench that's making 30 million a year. That's a problem to me because
Mm.
the production is not on the floor. So I have
Yeah.
to look at it both ways. Like if I was an owner. you're not doing what the production. That's why I love football, because football you have to play and show what you do. Because the next year, no matter what, we could actually cut your salary and cut you. You get what I'm saying?
I
Basketball and
agree.
baseball players get guaranteed contracts. So there's a time where I got my bread, I got my money, I got that. I'm not putting out the effort to show.
A
And let's
hundred,
So
be
I
honest.
a hundred
I
percent.
don't
Well,
disagree.
when is there circumstances when you see that? So there's not a mass ineffectiveness of players when they get guaranteed money. The problem with the NFL is they don't guarantee the money, and there's going to be a time where you get hurt. Like it's not if you're going to get hurt, it's when you get hurt. And this idea that your money is not guaranteed or only certain players' money is guaranteed, it's like ridiculous because the owners still get paid
So
whether
No,
you
the
play
and,
it or
owners is
not.
always gonna get paid.
Right.
That's
So why shouldn't
that's what
they?
I'm saying.
Roger,
So why shouldn't
Roger,
they?
I don't want to get far away from your point because I
Mm,
want to respond to that. I hear exactly what you're saying, and I
mm,
definitely agree that there are a lot of players that are making a lot of money who are underperforming. The Here's the thing for me: you take, let's say, you take a big name player and you bring them to your team.
mhm.
Now you agree to pay them based on the fact that they had this name recognition. What that did was let's just say Soto. Soto
Yes,
to the Mets. Ticket sales went up. Or even as recent as LeBron going to Philly.
yeah,
Ticket sales went up based upon the fact that they brought this name in. Now, yes, there is an expectation, but they've already made money off of ticket sales. They've made money off of merchandising. They've gotten all of this even before a game has been played. And so players have down years, players decline, or whatever. There's an unpredictability in that. But you don't hear also when teams suck, the owners say, you know what? I've charged fans too much. I didn't produce my team that I put out there that I paid money for because ultimately you're the buck stops with you at the owner. Even though you hire a GM and the coaches and the players, still you're the one that put that money out there with this expectation. And then
Mm.
that's not even to speak to the teams that spend all this money and don't appear to care about winning. I mean, how many years did we talk about Dolan in that regard? The Knicks
Mm.
sucked, and we said Dolan didn't care about winning. It was a tax write-off.
No,
So there are
the seats were still
benefits.
filled. The seats were
The
still
seats were, so-
full.
and there
Of
were
course.
perks and benefits even without them winning. So yes, there is an expectation when you pay someone. Whatever you're paying them, you expect to get a return. But
yeah,
there are other ways that they're getting return even if it doesn't show up on the field or the court. Just the fact that this name, you go to. I'm a Met fan. You go to City Field. Aaron Judge jerseys all over the place.
Mm.
Lindor jerseys. A lot of these players have
Well,
not always lived up to the salaries that they have, but
mhm,
Well, you
the
also have.
jerseys are flying off and so forth.
I'm saying you also have different standards. So your standard as a fan and productivity and earnings is different from the standard of an ownership because just as Dave said, if I'm signing this big name, I'm not looking at it like, okay, well, this guy has to produce on the field. I'm looking at it like, okay, well, how much more subscription or season ticket holders are we getting? How much more merchandise
exactly,
are we selling?
exactly,
So it's not even about
mm.
exactly.
for some manager for some owners,
Mom,
it's a
what is
marketing ploy. It's a marketing ploy.
Mom, what is
So
Exactly.
Mom, what?
Mm.
so you making money off of the marketing of the fact that you bringing in this popular player, and it doesn't matter whether they perform on the field, on the court or
Mm.
not. You have reaped the benefits. So as many times as like when you look at players that they've wasted their careers away with franchises that had no intention of doing anything to help them win
Yep.
a championship, and they've
Yep.
used up the productive years of their careers on these franchises, and the ownership was just fine with it. Just
Right.
fine with it because I'm still making money. I don't care whether we win or not. I'm still
And
making money.
you're absolutely right. There's sponsorships that
Yeah.
name of affiliation. You want to be a part of this brand because
Mhm.
of these players and so forth. So yeah, all that money is made. And to Bishop's point, yeah, there are a lot of players who lost a lot of good years playing for
Mhm.
teams that, like he said, had no intention to win, and then we want to praise them for loyalty.
Yeah.
Mm.
Championships are for fans. It's not for owners. That's for fans.
Yeah,
Mm.
The owners will be just fine with having the seats filled every game, having concessions being bought.
Right.
yep,
They're just fine with that business model. The fans are the ones that want championships, not
right.
owners.
It's
Go figure.
ultimately
Go
it's true.
figure.
Can I
Yeah,
say something?
exactly. Yeah, please, Roland. Sure.
When it, with the salaries, specifically with like basketball and baseball, I think like in the NBA, I think there's probably maybe 10, 12 players who deserve to have like top flight money. Analytics plays a big part of this. There's players on the Knicks and other players who making 20, 30 million. They are not 20, $30 million players.
No.
They're going based off the analytics where you got guys, oh, he's a 3-point shooter. This is off of analytics. You cannot give money to somebody who's only a 3-point shooter. He doesn't play defense. He's not an all-star player, and you're giving him 20, $30 million. That's ridiculous. So if you're looking at the
I agree with
NBA,
you. That was my point.
LeBron, Curry, Durant,
Mhm.
Jokic, Luca, Giannis, some of those players. These are they got all-star games. They all NBA teams, stuff like that. They deserve their money. I'm not going to argue with that. But you got guys who ain't never made an All-Star game, ain't never made All NBA, ain't never made All NBA defense. They making 25, $30 million.
Yeah,
That's insanity. And in
but you,
baseball, is even more egregious
but as a
because
basketball player, I'm
I
saying
don't have a problem. I don't have any problem with bona fide star players getting paid what they should. I
yeah,
don't think dudes who are making averaging 9 points a game making $30 million. That's ridiculous.
yeah, but you're one of 450 out of how many millions of players that want to be in the
And
league?
I get
You're
that.
one
No,
of
Listen,
four.
I get
So,
that.
even
I'm
if you
not.
say, but I'm saying, even if you as a fan are looking at it and saying, hey, this guy is only scoring 9 points a game, that guy that's only scoring 9 points a game is probably capable of scoring 30 points a game, but that's not what the team needs. That's not what the team needs. So
Then the
mm,
team is then the front
they'll
office is
minimize
broken.
this, they'll minimize his role because that's not what they need. Now, if somebody gets injured and then they roll that person over into a slot, so now you get more opportunities. So I'm paying to have the talent on my roster so that if somebody goes down, I don't lose any ground. So, but if that doesn't happen, I just need you to score 3 to 9 points a game and play defense. That's all I need from you. As long as my star players, my player recognition players, are doing the lion's share of the work.
Let me
So
ask a
I don't.
I,
question.
I
I'll ask.
think there's some owners, for instance, like look, like someone well, just like Kraft, Jerry Jones, some of these dudes. These dudes want to win. Now you may disagree about how they go about it. I think they want to win. The
I
guy
agree
down
with you.
who
I agree with
owns
you.
the Spurs, the guy
mhm.
out in Golden State and stuff like that. Like Washington, I'm not. If I'm owning that team, I'm not giving Trey Young. I'm not giving him an extension. There's no way. He hasn't proven to me. Just watching him, he's not like Steph Curry. He's not like LeBron. He's not like Durant or Giannis or Brunson. Or guy. I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's like, look, I'm getting paid this. I got a few
Mm.
All Star games. I don't think he gives a shit about winning. I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
the
think he
fact that you got
cares.
Trey Young, but the fact that the Washington Wizards got Trey Young on their roster, people are going to come out and watch that team. It's the name. People are going to come out and watch that team.
Mm.
They're
So,
fools.
so no, but I'm just
Well,
saying
well,
that.
the Wizards got the number one pick, and this kid is special. So
Yeah,
I feel they'll make a little noise. You know what I mean? But I agree with what he's saying. Trey Young, what has he done? I mean, he used to be a Nick killer. That's it. You know? But as far as anything else, as any accolades that he didn't do,
Well, he
not
was
for the money that he's getting. Not for the
he
money.
was leading he was leading the league when he was in Atlanta. He was leading the league in assists.
That he did.
He was leading the league in assists, and he was one of the most popular players in the league. At such a diminutive size, he was one of the most popular players, and he was a fan favorite. So you think, okay, well, if he's bringing that same thing to Washington, and Washington is suffering from fans not being enthusiastic about the team, people not coming to the games, and so forth and so on, and he helps to turn that around. He helps to fill the seats up. He helps to sell merchandise. Guess what? That's part of the money making machine. It's
Yeah,
not productivity on the court, but it's productivity in the stands. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Now I'll
let me
go back
bring
to
up.
the point that Rodney said real quick. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Rodney.
go ahead,
Go
bro.
ahead, Rod.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I insist. You go ahead.
Look, I like Dallas. I haven't bought a piece of merchandise in 26
Mm-hmm.
years. I refuse. I'm never going to that stadium. I'm never giving Jerry Jones my money. It's not happening.
Right.
And look, I know that I will probably never go. I mean, the last time I went to a Knicks game was 1993.
Mm.
One, I can't afford it. Even if I could afford it, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
So I'm not going. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm never going to Yankee Stadium. I'm not paying. First of all, for me, I don't really like being out in those environments like that. Um,
Right.
I'm not paying money. I'm not paying some crazy price to sit up in some stadium, um, be it summertime or wintertime. I've been to football games. I hated it. And this is coming from someone who played. I played football. I did
Yeah.
not
Right.
like being in that whole environment because the tail. Fuck that bullshit. Like, oh, let's go to tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I want to go to the stadium, get in there, watch the game, and get the hell out.
Mm.
End the story. I'm not into all that. So I made that choice years ago. I stopped buying Dallas shit a long time ago. Now, the thing that we are saying, the problem is that you got some fans they're not going to do it. They got their man caves, they got all that shit like that, and they don't care. They'll
Right.
spend their money. They don't care. I care because I'm not doing it. One,
Right.
I can't
No.
afford it. Even
Mm-hmm.
even like my friends, and we all grew up together, and we gotta go to see the Cowboys. I'm like, look, I'll go with you to Dallas. I ain't going in that stadium, bro.
Eh,
I
Let
ain't
me
doing it.
let me
what?
really quick bring up a name when I thought about this particular topic and whatnot. Shohei Otani. I gotta
Mm.
tell you honestly, his deal averages out to 70 million a year. Even though he's not getting 70, he's got the deferred payment at the end of the contract. And kudos to the Dodgers for that. But again, you realize we're talking about you can't make sense to me about a guy playing baseball getting almost $1 billion fucking dollars. It's insane to me. It doesn't
He's
make
the
sense
best
to me.
player in the league, though.
Yeah.
Even so, so
How much
that
money is
that
he
that
making the team? How much money is he making the team? How much
I
how
don't.
much
You know
revenue
what?
is he
I
drawing?
don't. I don't even care. I don't even care. Again, you cannot quantify that to me as being fair. Maybe it's me having sour. It could be me having sour grapes. Maybe it's me being a hater. But again,
No, I don't. I
$1 billion.
But they sell out. Look, I don't care what players make. If you ask me Otani for the Dodgers, he's the best player in the league. I'm sorry. I mean, he pitches, and he plays. I can't knock that. And look, they won championships with this dude. The dude is
Right.
box office. I can't.
And I get all that. But again, it's to the point where
70
you
million
know,
is 70 million, man. God damn, that's
So,
crazy.
so, so let me. I'm asking because I really want to know, but I'm asking for a bigger point too. Um, who created this? Was it the players or the owners? Because
Well,
once free agency hit, and owners realized that they could
mhm,
spend money to get top level players, then I think then the market then went up astronomically, and so we talk about players' value and how much. I don't think anybody honestly is worth that much money for whatever they're doing.
Agreed.
It's just entertainment. but but that's what the market is going for, and so they're able to make these demands for this money, and somebody is paying them.
So how
So
many seats are in the baseball stadium? How many seats?
you average about 45 to 50,000 seats. Some of the newer
So
stadiums have downsized.
so let's just say 40,000 seats.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's how many games in the season?
So
So
they have 81
81,
home games.
81.
81 home games.
Yeah.
Right.
40,000 seats for 81 home games. So, and some of those seats are going at a premium rate. So, how
Yes.
much money per game is that team generating just based on the fact that they have this player? Just based on the fact that they have this player.
Mm.
So, again,
I think
the standards were set by owners. The
That's
standards
Mm.
what
were
I'm saying.
set by owners to say, okay, well, I'll go with the NBA. This player would be eligible for salary of this if they make All NBA first team. If they do this, if they do that, they've set the criteria. Now what they're doing is because the players have started learning how to play, like manipulate the system and play the game within the game. Because now you say, okay, well, Jalen Brown, he would be eligible to make 70 something million a year with his next contract extension because he's met the criteria. He's an all-star, he's all NBA, first
Mhm.
team, he's all defense and so forth and so on. So that's the criteria that the owners set with the NBA, and these guys have met that criteria, and this is what the market is saying that they're worth. So
Yeah.
now you don't want to pay them. Now you don't want to pay them because you want to keep the lion's share of all of the money that you're generating. You want to keep the lion's share of it. It's like, yeah, I don't care how much money they make. It's like, yo, I don't. For me, it's not enough. Maybe it's not enough.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not enough.
Well, that was, I think, Bishop, that was really my point. It wasn't the players that set that criteria. It was the owners, and you had
Yeah.
teams. When free agency in baseball started in the 1970s, and you had some of the big names. I think, what was it, Catfish Hunter coming to the
Hmm.
Yankees. Um, Reggie Jackson went to Baltimore and then eventually to the Yankees. And there was a lot more movement, but it was certain teams that could afford to pay them. The players would have played pretty much anywhere. They followed the money. And so the bigger teams, like the Yankees and some of the others, were able to pay these players that. And so that's where things started to shift. I mean, if you look back early days of baseball, a lot of these guys had to have off-season jobs.
Mm.
They weren't getting paid a lot. You,
So
you know,
I just did the math just to give
Mhm.
you a little bit of gravity.
yeah,
So every game
Mhm.
that is played in a 40,000 seat stadium, let's just say the tickets are $50 each.
yeah, hmm
That's $2 million just off of seats, and I'm just average. I'm just saying average $50. Now I know some of the
yeah,
seats are worth more than that.
yeah, yes,
So that's a $2 million just for seats over an 81 game season. That's $162 million just for home games. 162 million just for home games. Now I'm not including the up price for tickets on the lower level and all of that because those
hmm
you know those seats are thousands of dollars.
yeah,
Those seats are thousands of dollars. So just base price of $50, 162 million. Now you take that and you multiply that by two. So that's 360 something million or 424 million just off of tickets, just off ticket sales. If every ticket was $50 for 160 for 100 and what 62 games
Yes, a season.
yeah,
a season, so the
Yes.
money is there. Then you got corporate sponsors because they want their logos and they want their stuff around the arena.
yeah.
So now you got that. Then you got when the games are on television, you got that money. Then you got the commercials while the games are being played. You got that money. So you
You
got
got food.
You got the concessions, the beer,
Yep.
the alcohol that they selling at the. So
The
there's
parking. They charge
yeah.
$50 to park at City
So
Field.
there's literally bills made season after season after season. So why shouldn't the players be compensated with all of this money being passed through? Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't? Because if it wasn't for the talent that they have, you wouldn't be able to market this to get people to come out. Why
Yeah.
shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they have reaped some of the rewards of this? And it's like again, if you look at it, let's just say college sports.
Hmm.
College sports, for years, the NCAA was raking in billions of dollars, and the
Yeah.
players weren't getting anything,
Right.
and they were just fine with that equation, just fine with it, just fine with it. And then once they started making noise and so forth and so on, now you got players who are being paid. You mentioned AJ DeBonza at BYU. He got paid $8 million for not even 6 months of basketball. $8 million. Plus, he got a portion of merchandising sales. So just to play ball at BYU, they wrote him a check for $8 million for like five, what is it, 4 to 6 months of basketball.
Yeah,
So
for
if
them
they're able
losing
to
the first
pay,
round.
what I'm saying, if they're able to pay, but how much money did they generate for the school? If
That's
they're
true.
able to pay this guy $8 million for 4 to 6 months of basketball, imagine how much money the university is making off the backs of these kids in all of these sports.
Mm.
So it ain't like they suffering. They've been
Nobody,
stacking.
nobody went broke because they paid a free
No,
agent 11.
no, not at all. So when you say, hey, they making too much money, what's too much? When you got all of these billions being passed through, what's too much?
I
Mm.
don't disagree. I don't disagree. My only, for me, I don't disagree with anything that you said, Bishop. I don't disagree with anything that Roger said. I don't disagree with anything that Dave said or Reg or R. My only issue is like there's to me there's just certain players that I think
Mm.
they're not getting. I think
Yeah, but you
that
made it there, though. You made it
I
there.
yeah they made it. Like
You made it.
for like for me like
Okay.
NFL, I think the salary cap should be higher
Yes.
because
Right.
I
quarterbacks. I
agree.
100%.
think the salary
Yeah, I
cap should
agree
be
with
higher
that. I definitely
100%.
because
agree.
quarterbacks are always going to command the most money.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, from like from my perspective, it was different back in the late '90s. Like when I tried to go the route, when I went to the camps and all that bullshit,
Hmm.
and this is the part that turned me off is that you go there and then it was different then because there was no concussion protocol, that bullshit. You had two a days and all that bullshit, shit like that. And then when it came time to me to talk to teams, and they're talking crazy shit.
Mm.
I ain't no special teamer, so specific team, I ain't gonna name them. They play in Florida.
Hmm.
So they talking to me and they telling me this, and that. I got my agent and all this shit like that.
Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville.
Yeah, so they're telling me the league minimum. So it was, I think back then it was probably, I don't know, 70, 80, 85,000, some shit like that.
All right.
And then they're telling me, all right, so this is what the league minimum is. We'll give you a bonus. So the shit came out to like about $130,000. But the only thing that was guaranteed was the bonus. That's if I made the 53-man roster,
Mm.
Mm.
the roster.
Right.
So I'm like, and at that time, I was working a job, man. I was making back in that time. I was worked out working the warehouse, man. I was driving a fucking forklift,
Hmm.
and agents talking to me, man. I'm like, look, man. I'm being honest with you, man. I'm like, look, I'll do special teams, man. But yo, that running down there and doing that shit, did I want to do it? Fuck no. I want no parts of that shit.
Hmm.
But
Mm.
I was willing to do it. But I'm like, yo, man, my job is to line up, bustle a corner's ass, catch passes, and score and run block when it's called on me. All that running up and down that special teams bullshit. Yeah, I don't want to be no fucking gunner. I don't want to be on kickoff return, get my
Right.
Mm.
brains beat in.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
And
but
I got
again,
hurt, but yeah, but there's certain players. For me, yeah, I was willing to do it. Did I want to do it? Fuck no, but I was willing to do it.
okay.
All
I
right.
was willing to put in the work to do it to get to that level and shit. I got hurt, and that was into that bullshit. But I didn't like the fact that And a guy actually I played with 2 years before that, he gave me an insight. I didn't pay. I thought he was crazy because he played with me on the team in '95. He went down. He left midway through the season. He went down to training camp with the Carolina Panthers. He comes back. And I'm like, yo, what's up? He was like, yeah, that shit's not for me. I'm thinking he's crazy. And he told me, he was like, yo, I'm telling you. He was like, yo, okay, I'm telling you, it's not what you think it is. I thought he was nuts until I saw it 2 years later. I knew exactly because he was a nurse. He was making $90,000. He told me, he's like,
Right.
why the hell would I give up a job? I'm making $90,000. I'm not even guaranteed to make the roster. And if I'm on the practice squad, I can get cut at any time. And then if I give up my job, then I got to go and start all the way over again and get to back to where I was before. And I thought he was crazy at the time.
Right.
And the Canadian Football League, forget about it, man. I was like, I ain't going up there, man.
No.
You know, there's I could get you a deal playing Saskatchewan. I'm like, shit, it snows up there in October, bro. You crazy?
Yeah.
October. Year round, goddamn.
Yeah, but you
It's
think
seen
about
that
like
way.
some of these like the NBA players, the guy who you think is like trash, that guy will mop up anybody like on a regular basis. So it's like, yeah, he may seem like trash because he's playing with players who are premier players, but that dude that made that roster, he didn't just make that roster based on luck. He made that roster
yeah.
because he's supremely talented. And
He
Right.
beat out other players to get.
you getting paid, but I'm saying you getting paid for the talent that you have,
Yeah,
not
Yeah, no, I'm
now,
based on
agreeing
your
with you.
performance.
see,
Not
I'll say
based on
this.
your performance.
Now that part right there, Bishop, you're right. Because I used to play summer league basketball, like in Jersey City. So y'all remember Kennard Winchester, right?
Yeah, I remember the name.
Now for years, I used to let people be like, "Oh, that motherfucker's whack. I'll bust his ass." This and that. He played in that summer league. Yeah, I watched that dude in a summer league game drop 50, like almost 50 points, and not take every shot he took was a jumper. That dude never came in the lane. I remember
Yeah,
sitting there, I'm like, yo,
yeah,
you had dudes on our team talking crazy. After that game, it was like, yo, this motherfucker, this dude is crazy nice. So even now, I was like, look, man, yo, I'm nice. I ain't nice like that dude, yo. Watching some dude literally look out there looking like Reggie Miller. This dude, I think he missed 3, 4 shots. So I understand that part. I like, it's one thing we on here and stuff like that. I know for a fact that the NBA players, or even that when dudes be talking like NFL players, I'm like, look, man, you don't know what it's like, man. I've been hit by a 220-pound free safety. I thought I got hit by a Mack truck. I ain't enjoy that shit, bro.
yeah,
Calling like Statue of Liberty plays and shit like that.
Right.
Because if you playing like if you in the semi-pro, I play semi-pro. I was a big fish in a little pond. I did work. When I went to that camp, I went to a whole other world. The first time I saw a linebacker running a 4.40 at 245 pounds, and I'm a wide receiver, and this dude is like a couple seconds slower than me, and he's looking at me, telling me like, I'm like, yo, man, that Statue of Liberty play, take that out the playbook, bro. Take that shit
You
out
sound
the
like
playbook.
Reggie Bush. Yo, we not running that play again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not bullshitting you. I went right to the quarterback. I'm like, yo, man, you can 86 that bullshit. I'm not running that shit again. And he's like, what do you say? I was like, that dude is 6'4", 245 pounds, running a 4.4140. I'm 6'1", running like a 4.4, 4.39. I'm like, nah, bro.
Not gonna
I
happen.
don't think so. Ain't happening, dude. Ain't happening. Take it out the playbook.
That's it.
I'll go across the middle. I ain't running. No.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Nah.
That's crazy.
But what I was saying is, I understand what you're saying, brother. You've been there, right? To me personally, and I hate when somebody says somebody sucks because they earn that respect. If it's baseball, football, or basketball, to be in that league, right? Including yourself. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you playing on that high level, to me personally, there's A, B, C, D levels to this. You might be E level, but you played pro. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate when people say that, oh, this guy's sucking and he doesn't suck. Because basically, if we go out there and try out for these teams, we don't have to stand a chance to somebody that is an athlete, that is a professional athlete. They might not be on the level of a Jamar Chase or Jefferson or, but they are good. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
So
Right.
the
yeah,
fact
teams
that
do.
I just hate when people say, "Oh, this person sucks." Not you saying that, but they earned that right to be
I'm saying.
in the pros.
But what teams
Uh-huh.
do, is, and you don't realize it, they put the teams out there or the players out there that are marketable
Right.
that they could use as a face for the franchise, and it
Yeah,
may not necessarily be the most talented guy. Because
Mm.
sometimes you'll have a guy who's really talented and can play, but they're too militant. I don't want this guy being the face of my franchise because he's going to offend some of the people that I'm trying to appeal to.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this guy may be a 30-point a night scorer, but he stands for some stuff that I don't particularly feel
Mm.
is going to be beneficial
Hmm.
to my fan base. So I'm only going to use him sparingly, and I only want him to play 7 to 10 minutes a night. You're only going to get 3 to 5 shot opportunities, but I know that this guy is capable of dropping 30 points every night. But I
Right.
can't have him be the face of my franchise. And as a fan, we look at that and say, well, damn, he ain't doing this. Why is he making all this money? You don't know what he is doing in practice. You don't know if he's mopping up the starters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And they still like, nah, we're gonna keep him over here on the side because we just don't want this dude as the face of our franchise. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So it the fact that they made it there out of they're one of the 450, I'm like, yo, this dude has got to be supremely talented and capable of scoring 30 points a night. He's just not needed to do that on this particular team.
On a regular.
I think also, and I 100% agree about, when we call players out and say they suck. I think that we're speaking from a different perspective. We
Yeah.
understand that if they're on the team, if they made it that far, they're talented than most people in the world, more talented than
Right.
most people in the world. I think,
Yes, sir.
we're all guilty though of watching our team and seeing a player that we feel like he's kind of like messing up the game. Or if you got a quarterback and he's not the greatest, and he's out there, and we're like, why is he out there? He sucks. This guy sucks. That's fan speak. I don't think that most logical thinking fans are literally saying that he can't play the game because he's on that level. I think that what we're saying, and I'm going to say, like, on this panel, I think we're all logical fans. So we have a player that we see out there, and they're not doing as well as we think. The first thing we say, this guy sucks. Why is he out there? There's somebody, replace him with somebody else. I don't think it is an indictment against his ability because he made the league. It is what he happens to be doing while he's out there
Mm.
that's detrimental to the team, and that's what we're speaking to. You
Right. And
know,
the
I'm gonna
money,
say one
it
clearly,
was
name.
the,
I'm
it
gonna
was the
say one
money.
name.
It was the
I'm
money
gonna
yeah,
though.
say
You were
another. I'm gonna
speaking.
say another
Danny
name after you,
Dimes.
Reg. Danny
Danny
Dimes.
Dimes,
I'll say a name. What's that dude
yeah,
that used to play with the Knicks? Frankie.
Nilakina?
Nilakina.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but
Or Kevin
but I
Knox.
think
Or Kevin Knox.
okay, yeah, but you put these guys out. We say it. We say that they suck because we're watching them, and they're not doing what we think they should do, and so we use the terminology of sucking. But I think that there is a
uh,
clear understanding on this panel that
uh,
skill level, they made
Hmm.
it to the league. They are better than the majority of the people in the world, or else they wouldn't
uh,
be getting paid to go out there and do that.
100%.
Um, so we understand that, and that's more frustration speak.
Yeah.
Let me give you two things real quick. Um, some of these players. One of the things I remember when I was at this camp, this tryout camp. There's guys who play sports who don't love it. They like it.
Yes,
Right.
Like
yes,
one of my coaches when I was on the team, like the guy I told you about, he went to the Carolina Panthers. he loved playing semi-pro football. He did not like the grind. When he went down to the training camp, he didn't like that.
Mm,
And I remember there's
mm,
a guy who was my roommate, and this guy told me straight up, he's like, "Yo, I love surfing more, and I love playing football." He's like, "I like playing football." And I said, "Why do you play
yeah.
football?" He was like, "Because I can make money doing it."
Mm.
Mhm.
And he wasn't
Mm,
dead. And that's one thing a lot of fans don't realize. Like I played with dudes who play football. They didn't love it. They didn't like it. They liked it. They didn't love it.
Mm.
right.
Because I remember there was dudes. There was one guy I played with on my team, and this dude was like, he liked the game. He liked the camaraderie and shit like that. And he was like, and the dude was crazy talented, but he was like, I don't want, I don't want to go beyond this. He was like, because I like it. I don't love it.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
think, and
Mhm.
even that, and then when you're looking at like with basketball, like you look at like Kevin Knox and some of these players compared to 25 years ago, these dudes are one and done. Like you
Yeah.
look at like Grant Hill, he played 4 years, 3, 4 years at Duke. These guys played 3, 4 years, so they learned the game. So they came into
Yeah.
the league, they were ready to play. I don't think a lot of these
Yeah.
guys are ready to play when they come
Right.
into the league. Like
Agreed.
Jermaine O'Neal
Agreed.
sat on the bench for
Nah,
like a
I
couple
agree with you.
years, and
For
then
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I agree
I
with
don't
you.
think these guys coming in the league right now. I don't think a lot of these guys are really seasoned to play. I don't think. Look, there's one thing. I was watching a podcast. I don't know, it was a couple of years ago, and LeBron and Draymond Green. And there's one player I don't like more than LeBron is Draymond Green. But what he said, I agree 1,000%. He said you got dudes in the league right now that don't know how to play basketball, or they can shoot,
Yeah.
but they
Right.
don't know how to play basketball, and they were
Yeah.
100% correct. I agree with them
Mhm.
1,000%. Because whether
Yeah.
you like LeBron or that stuff like that, he puts in the work for his body and stuff like that.
Right.
Even whack ass Draymond Green and shit like that. These dudes are different. They put in the
Yeah.
work and all the other. Some of these dudes, they're not doing that shit. They're not doing that. Like, look at Jordan Poole. I don't think he should have got cold cocked, but I
Right.
don't think he was putting in the work that Draymond was putting in, or Steph
Yeah.
Right.
Curry, or Klay Thompson, those
Yeah.
dudes. And look at them now, or Cam Thomas, or Anthony Simmons,
Yeah.
or some of these other dudes. They're talented, but there's something missing. I don't think they
I,
love it. I know they
I
know they can
think
get paid.
that's what it is because you getting these contracts, these $100 million contracts.
Mhm.
What are you going to tell me? What now? What am I going to do? You
Mhm.
know, I already got this money. I don't have to do anything until my contract is almost up, and then go play, and then show 'em what I really can do.
The hunger
No.
factor is over. The hunger factor is
Yes.
done. Once they get that money,
Right.
you're not
That's
hungry
yeah.
like that.
But
Yeah, but
yeah, I agree with that. I understand what Reggie's saying.
Mhm.
That what separates a lot of players in any sport
Yeah.
is the
100%.
hungriness. Because once
Right.
you have the money, what is else that you looking forward
Yeah.
to? Right?
Right.
Yeah, are you going to build up your craft? Or that's what made Kobe so different. That's what made
Yeah.
Mike so different. That's what made the best so different because they was greedy to get success. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? They want to get better and better and better. You got certain people, I got the money, I don't want to get hurt, and they not looking for a championship.
Ben
But
Simmons.
and that's what separates, players from
well, that's
players.
that's 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 in any level of life. That's in every walk of
Yeah.
life. Like when you go to work, you go to your
Yep.
job. You have the people that come to the job that just do the bare minimum, and then you have the people who, like whatever they can get their hands in, or whatever they go getters, and they're always looking to,
Right.
improve and add to their toolbox and be better at what they do, or move into a different position, or
Mhm.
excel. So it's just about like the ambition of it. When you guys are talking about this, a classic example is Zion Williamson. So Zion Williamson came into the league as this highly acclaimed, and he got paid for what potential he had. He got paid for
Yeah.
his potential. Then he got an extension off of that potential.
Right.
And now what's happening is like you haven't produced on any of that potential. So it's going to be pretty hard pressed for any team to want to extend you for one of these major contracts because you haven't done anything. You haven't shown any potential. You
Mm.
just came into the league as a supremely talented athlete. And now you got amongst a bunch of other supremely talented athletes, and you're just like, I'm good. I'm cool. I still get my money. I'm cool. I'm not mad that he got his money, but he probably won't be able to get another big contract like that because
Right.
his 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 ambition when it comes to playing ball is not there. That drive is not there.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
yeah.
just not exactly.
Yeah, these dudes like you remember the guy who used to play for the Detroit Lions, Roy Williams, a wide receiver.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like that dude when he was in Detroit, this dude was probably like a top 10 wide receiver. And when he got traded to Dallas, one of my friends, he lives in Texas, so he told me he ran a store. He ran a Michael Irvin. So he told me that he ran to Michael Irvin. And Michael Irvin is like really approachable. So he asked him about Roy Williams because Mike is always around the Cowboys. And Michael Irvin told my friend, he was like, look, he's like, Roy didn't love basketball, football. He liked it. And he's like, when he was in Detroit, there's no pressure. When he came down to Dallas, there was pressure. And that pressure
Hmm.
was too much. And then he liked
Hmm.
football. He didn't love it. And
Mm.
then his numbers drastically dropped. And that's that right there. And even I remember Michael Jordan was doing an interview years ago. And he said something about this. He was like, "You playing players right now." He was like, You're paying players based on potential. They didn't earn it."
Hmm.
Right.
And just like Bishop said, you giving Zion Williams all that money. Oh yeah, he's got the hype, but did he really earn it? Even that, there's a story that Phil Handy tells about Kobe Bryant. He was like, "Why you always an asshole, man?" He was like, "I come in here, get here 4 o'clock in the morning. I put in work. I
Yeah.
work out 3, 4 times. These dudes
Right.
showing up
Right.
15 minutes before practice." And then
Yep.
they the first season, I'm the first one here, I'm the last one to leave. And he's like, then they asked me why I don't pass the ball in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
ain't
remember.
put in the work. I'm out here doing this shit, and what are you doing? You out here hanging out in clubs and shit like that.
Right.
Hmm.
And these dudes, especially now, he's even worse now. Like Ben Simmons, all these other dudes. These dudes want to be celebrities. These dudes don't want to be no superstars.
Exactly.
I
And
would
that's
Yeah.
whether I like whether I
that's
like LeBron or not, man. I don't.
right.
He won. Steph won. As
Hmm.
sensitive as Kevin Durant is, he won. Giannis won. Brunson won. These dudes won. I ain't gonna knock them on that aspect. Some of these other cats, and they get all tight and stuff like that. Well, what are you gonna do about it? Do something. You can't sit here and say you want to be putting these categories with Mike and LeBron and Kobe and Bird and
Right.
Magic and some of these
Right.
dudes. You have done nothing to deserve that shit. Why? Because you went out and you dropped 30. So, well, be free to drop 30 every night.
Yep.
Jesus.
But he put
Yes,
in the
sir.
work. But he dropped 30
Yeah.
every night. But these dudes ain't putting in that work.
No.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also, a lot of these guys, unfortunately, and I don't like to make things generational, but there's also this mentality of entitlement. Everything has been handed to them, and
Mm.
they didn't work, and they didn't see others that or have others that demanded that they work. If you were going to the Lakers or you were going to the Bulls, when for Kobe and sorry, MJ, you couldn't come on there and be a slacker. We
Oh
got the
hell no.
best player on the team that's working, and you couldn't come in there and say, "Well, I'm not going to work." How could you go to the Lakers with Kobe and act like you weren't going to work,
Mm.
or Jordan's Bulls
Add Smush
when the
Parker that.
best player? Yeah,
Add
ask
Smush
Smush
Parker
Parker.
that.
Exactly, exactly. So and so that sense of entitlement. No, back in the day, you had to earn. You had
Right.
to earn everything. And even for your own teammates to respect you. And I'm not into hazing, but that whole rookie hazing thing, it was a way of them testing you mentally as well. Can you handle certain things? And then once you pass that test, and then you get accepted.
Hmm.
But these guys walk in there, these number one picks, and they come to a team with "I'm the number one pick" mentality. I look at it like I always say I work in a school, and a lot of kids they might have been the valedictorian in their school, and then they go to Ivy League and they find out that they are nowhere near the top rank. It's a culture shock, and so some of
Mm.
these players that come in off of that hype, and then okay, now the real work starts. Are you really built for this? And some guys are built to be number one picks, and that's it, and that's where they peak. The draft shouldn't be your peak. That's just your entry point.
Yeah, well, you
Well,
you
you're
you
right.
got some of these guys who, when they get to that professional level, you got some dudes that's in their DNA. Like this is in my DNA. Like I was born
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
was born for this. Like I'm 6'6". I got a 7'2" wingspan. I'm super athletic. I don't get tired. I can jump out the gym, so forth and so on. I was built for this. And then you got some guys who is like they're naturally talented, and some dudes that just work hard to get there.
Right.
And I always tell my players, somebody who works harder will always beat the more talented player because they
Yeah,
work
Yeah.
hard. They will
indeed,
Yeah.
always, for the
indeed.
most part, for the most part, for the most part, they always tend to outshine the more talented if you work harder.
Yeah.
You're right about that, Bishop. Like my coach, Coach Jim, if he was listening, he's listening. Yo, I owe this guy a big debt because he pushed me to the next level.
Mm.
Because
Hmm.
we were one day I think we were undefeated, and he didn't like the way to practice. That's another thing. These dudes don't like to be. They don't like confrontation. And
No.
a coach, he stopped practice. We just came on. We beat some team down. We beat some team like 35-7, some shit like that. He stopped practice, and then he just started naming our players, and he got to me. And he was like, "Hey," he was like, "You talented as hell." He was like, "But you're a lousy route runner."
Mm.
Mm.
And I'm looking at him and I shot back. I'm like, "What you talking about, man?" I was like, "I had 6 catches for 100 yards last week." He's like, "I
Mm.
don't give a shit." He was like, "Yeah." He was like, you scored a touchdown." He was like, "But yeah, I had 100 yards. 60 of them came on a bomb pass."
Mm.
And then he
Mm.
was like, and there's another dude on the team, same name as me. His name's Kyle. He was like, "You're not as good as route runner as the other Kyle." This dude was slow as balls. But he
Mm.
told me that shit, and that shit pissed me off. And then I watched him, and I watched him run his routes. And then Jim came over to me. He was like, "I know you pissed off right now." He was like, "What I'm trying to tell you," he's like, "You want to get to the next level, you rely strictly on your speed." He's like, "What happens? You injure your knee, and you lose your
Mm.
speed. You can't get open." So after that
Mm.
shit, I went to that dude Kyle, and I was like, "Yo, man, tell me how you're running your routes and how you making your breaks." He was telling me, he was like, "What I'm doing is, he's like, if a dude is playing me inside, I'm gonna take him like I'm going outside and get him biting on that, and then I'm gonna plant hard on my right foot, and break inside." He was like, "This is the things that I do." He was like, "Cause I'm slow as shit." He's like, "I wish I was as fast as you." And I studied
Mm.
this dude, and then I started just watching tape. I would watch tape of whatever. I would tape games back then. Now, yeah, VHS back then. I'm taping, watching Michael Irvin. I'm watching Jerry Rice. I'm watching Chris Carter. I'm studying these dudes. I would be out
Study.
in the park running routes. People looking
Mm.
at me like I'm insane. No one's throwing me the ball. I'm just running routes.
Right.
And when dude's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm running routes." He was like, "No one's throwing you the football." I'm like, "It's not the point.
Right.
Right.
I'm setting up the cones." And this is the thing. He was like, he told me that shit. He named every player. Me, my boy Eric. He was a tight end. This dude named Robbie, who was a psychopath who played middle linebacker. Nice dude. When he put on that helmet, he turned into Michael Myers. He just naming this other dude named Don. He was our safety. He was naming players out. These dudes that
Hmm.
he knew had this potential. And I learned that from him. And this is how I learned how to set up my routes, how to break in,
Right.
read the defense, where the linebacker is, where the safety is, where I'm making my cuts at. Like if the dude's cheating up on the line, he's cheating up on me. I'm looking where the strong safety is. All right, so I'm gonna take him out. I'm gonna take this guy out 5 yards. I'm gonna break behind him in between the middle linebacker and the strong safety. And I learned that shit. And
Right.
then years later, I'm trying to teach young dudes this shit, and they go like, "Oh, OG, I ain't trying to hear that shit." I'm
I'm not
like,
doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Always.
I'm telling you,
Always.
man. I would tell him, I was like, "Look, man." I was like, "Look, I did the partying thing." I was like, "You ain't partying like I was partying, dude. I was out in nightclubs and shit like that." I was like, "But you know what? I got my ass up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I went out to the
Mhm.
Right.
park and I ran my routes." I was like, and I was like, "And all that weed smoke you doing? You go to them camps, they testing your
Oh
ass.
my
They
gosh.
test you
Yeah.
before." Yeah, I was like, and dudes didn't understand that shit, and none of these dudes never made it. They didn't understand that shit because I told them, I was like, "Look, this is the things you got to do."
So Ronan, you credited your coach. There's two other people at least that I heard that deserve the credit. One is the other Kyle because he saw you as someone who had the potential to
Right.
do things far better than he was, and he wasn't jealous about it. A lot of guys don't want to share that information, and
Mm.
so I credit him, but also I credit you because you
Mm.
received the information.
Right.
That's to your point that you just ended on about these young guys not wanting, they don't want to listen, they don't want to receive it, they think they know everything, they
Mm.
think that they've already got it figured out when they
Right.
don't even know who they are as a player yet, and you're trying to help them, and they look at it as, oh, you hate or something like that, you're just trying to kill my shine and stuff like that. No, but so all of that in your story, is a testament to that, and it's always, I watch every year when the workouts start, and the new season for basketball starts. We don't have a football team in my school, but basketball is definitely big in the culture. And I used to even say, I used to work at a school in Brooklyn where the students were. Um, Academically strong, and we had decent basketball program, but you had a lot of guys who didn't need basketball to go to college. They played, and they liked, to the point of they liked it, but I don't think they loved it, and they didn't see it as their only way out. And then we used to talk about Lincoln High School, when Lance Stevenson and
Mm.
them were out there, and all this stuff. And we would tell them, I said, while you guys are over there, getting your bacon, egg, and cheese, coming to school, those guys were out on the beach at Coney Island running in the sand. And then they come into the building, and they jump out of the gym, and you're looking at the difference. So because for many of them, that was their only way. Lance
Yeah.
Lance Stevenson, what was Lance going to do if he didn't have basketball? And this is not a knock on him, but
He has a flourishing MMA career because he just choked Michael Beasley.
oh, wow,
Flourishing.
But
yeah, yeah,
Dave, you right, man.
yeah,
It's the humility part, man. Like
yeah,
one of the things my father taught me, man, is that even I come on here, I learn from all y'all. I learn from me and Hollop talk all the time. I learn from Hollop. I learn from R. I
yeah,
learn from you. I learn from Bishop, Roger. We just met, learning from
mhm,
you, and that's the humility, man. Because
yeah,
Dave, you're right. That dude helped me. I remember there was a guy who came on our team. He played for Elizabeth City State College. He was like
mhm,
Division 3. He was a corner, and he pulled me to the side after practice, man. He was like, "Yo,
mhm,
let's work." Let's work. He
mhm,
told me, he was like, look, I'm gonna tell you exactly what corners are thinking, how you do it, how you beat this, how you beat
mhm,
inside coverage,
mhm,
how you beat outside press coverage. He told me all that because I didn't play in college. I played in high school, and then
yeah,
after that, I took time off. I played summer league basketball, I worked jobs and shit like that, and I got
yeah,
discovered playing basketball, pick up basketball in the gym. Dude
wow,
was like, oh man, nice. I'm like, I play basketball because I don't like to run, bro. I like jogging and shit. I ain't about that shit. I'm about doing sprints. I
No.
was like, I'm a way better football
yeah,
player than a basketball player. And my father, God rest his soul, my father wasn't like, he didn't try to press me, but my father would challenge me. Like when I was at
mhm,
that camp and we would talk, I'm like, Pops, I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you talking about? I was like, I don't know. I'm not worried about the compete part. I was like, I don't know if I can physically take the beating because that was my issue, man. I couldn't stay healthy. I was always hurt
oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
because football, it was always like 95. I played with a separated shoulder. That
mm,
shit hurts. Like people talking about, oh, I'm like, look, motherfucker,
Mm.
separated
yeah,
shoulder.
You have no
That shit
idea.
hurts, bro.
You have
yeah,
Like
no idea.
I had to sleep with pillows up underneath my shit,
For
taking
sure.
painkillers and all that shit like that. I had knee issue. I had a
yeah,
knee issue.
yeah,
But my father was
Exactly.
like, even as a kid, my father, I remember one time my cousin took me out to play with older kids, and I got embarrassed. Came home, I was in tears. My father was like, "What's the problem?" I'm like, "Yo, they embarrassed me." He was like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Mm.
Like, I'm gonna
yeah,
go out there. I was like, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna make them pay. I
Yep.
was like,
mhm,
that's what you
Good.
got. He was like,
That's
son,
that's the
you have
mentality.
to raise your game. That's why I was always attracted to Mike and Kobe and Bird and dudes like
yeah,
that
Hmm.
yeah,
because I respected that shit. And it didn't happen because I was hungry, man. I was like, look, if I get to the
Right.
NFL, man, I take care of my mom, I take care
Right.
of my sisters, I take care of my
mhm,
dad.
Hmm.
My boys who I was real tight with, they kept me in check because one thing they kept me in check. They was like, look, motherfucker, you ain't getting paid. you nice, you ain't getting paid, bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they kept
Right.
me. They were real about it. They
Yeah.
told me he's like,
Yeah.
we be out nightclubs. He's like, yo, man, keep your temper under control. Don't
Right.
start
Hmm.
that dumb shit.
Right.
You
They
know.
kept you in line. They
So
kept you in line.
Yeah.
there's a lot
What
of
real
people.
friends do.
Yeah, to
Right.
this day, these are my
Exactly.
crew. And if it
There
wasn't
you
for
go.
them, I wouldn't have had the opportunity.
Right.
And a
Uh,
lot of these young dudes, just like Days, I talk to young dudes, man, and these dudes be looking at me. I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to help you, bro.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, nah, I'm nice like that. Motherfucker, look, this ain't the Marvel Universe, bitch. You ain't got the power cosmic.
Some,
You
some
ain't the
people,
Silver Surfer. You ain't Fire
yeah,
Lord. It ain't working like
brother,
that, man.
you're
brother.
out of
Some
Tesseract.
people, some people can't be
Yeah.
helped, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some can't be
That's
helped.
why I don't coach,
Yeah.
man. I can't do football. I can't do
Yeah.
that shit.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can barely do
Let me
basketball.
let
And
me
then
do
you got
some
these
moving on.
parents that will tell you how wonderful their child is and how come they're not playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let me do some moving on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get into this private equity in sports. It's come to my attention that this has been a trend, I want to say since what, 2018, 2019, roughly. Okay. It started being popular around that time when the major leagues of all sports started changing their rules to allow institutional investment. Um, uh-oh, from that laughter, what made you laugh, Sir Ronan?
Cream, 1993, Wu Tang. That's what made me laugh. That's what it's about, bro.
That's exactly that's what it's all about, man. And I just wanted to take a look at it. Let's see. Why do private equity invest in sports? High returns. Team values often beat the S&P 500. Limited supply. There are few major pro teams available. And safe income, which is broadcast deals and ticket sales, bring steady cash to these investments. What is some? You guys have any particular thoughts on that?
No,
It plays right into what we were just saying about NBA. The salaries for the players. Like these franchises are making billions of dollars each
Mhm.
year. So if you spread out a player's salary, you said Otani is making $1 billion over how many years?
Well, close to a billion. He's at 700,
Close
700 million for 10 years.
for 10 years. So you know how
Yeah.
much money the team is going to be making in 10 years? The team is making in that 10 years that they're paying him this money, the 70 million a year. How much money are they making?
Hmm.
How much money are they making? So it's like, it's a drop in the bucket compared to the money that they're
As
making.
crazy as that sounds, it is a drop in the bucket when you put the numbers together.
Yeah.
You understand? As you did,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a drop in
and
the bucket, dude.
you didn't even include like the food or merchandise. That's just
No.
ticket. And to be honest, when you were going over that with that whole scenario and whatnot, you were kind of like underpricing it. The ticket.
Yeah, I was just lowballing it just
yeah.
Right.
just
Right.
for the sake of $50 tickets. But we
Right.
know tickets ain't $50.
Mm-hmm.
You got tickets. Some of those tickets are thousands of dollars in different
Mm-hmm.
sections. So you got different tiers of seats. If you got 40,000
Exactly.
seats, maybe like half of those seats are premium seats,
Right.
or 20% of those seats are premium seats, and that's $2,000 to $5,000 a game or whatever it is.
Right.
So it's like it's crazy. So it's like, yeah, they're not suffering for money.
No.
The Knicks, like when they won a championship, and then the owner, the first thing he can say is, "Oh, I don't want to hit the second apron." What he's
Right.
saying is he doesn't want to have any of these players that he's got to pay X amount of dollars. He doesn't want to
Mm-hmm.
have that because he wants to be able to make the most, get the most return
Mm-hmm.
on a team that hadn't won anything in 53 years. Now he wants to cash in. Now he wants to cash in. So
Right.
now you got the nerve to be telling the fans you don't want to hit the second apron. It's like, dude, we hit the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth apron for 53 years.
Right.
And
Right.
and
Exactly.
now
Shandon.
all of a sudden, yeah,
Yeah. The Shandon Anderson and Howard Isley is.
right, right. And now
Uh,
and now all of a sudden you want to come back because you didn't change the prices. You didn't lower the prices when the talent wasn't there or the team
Mhm.
wasn't performing. You didn't lower the prices. The
No.
tickets prices were the same when they had the 17 win seasons,
Yep.
17 out of 82 games.
Yep.
they were still high ticket prices, and it's like this private equity stuff. That only thing that's doing is that's putting more money in the pot. So you getting two and three bites out of the apple as an owner. If
Hmm.
if you sell a portion of the equity in the team, so now you get another bite of the apple before you actually sell it and cash out.
Hmm.
And if a private equity comes in and gives you the whole apple, so now you basically are reaping the rewards of your investment. And what they're gonna do, they're gonna come in, change some stuff, make it more profitable, and then make cash off of that. It's a fast cash move for them too.
Yeah.
That's interesting you say that, Bishop. So let me ask this question:
Hmm.
do you think that's what the Sixers are doing? Like, I don't think the Sixers are going to beat the Knicks, but I think they went for the money. Like, all right, LeBron will draw tickets. He'll draw,
Absolutely,
absolutely. Because
absolutely.
I don't think the
Yeah.
Sixers. I don't. A lot of these. I think a lot of these teams. I think you probably got a handful of owners who want to win, but the Sixers. I don't think they really want to win because
Well,
you asking a lot for someone who's 42 years old.
Hmm.
Look, I'm being honest. I'm not. Look,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drag this dude if the Sixers fail, because you
Hmm.
can't ask this guy to carry the load at 42 years old. But
Right.
the fact that I went to a Sixers game, me, my wife, my son, and his friend, we went to a game, and the tickets we had, we got the tickets for free. But
Mm.
where we were sitting at, because they ain't really a bad seat down
mhm.
in Gotham City Arena to
Hmm.
watch some motherfuckers play. But those tickets was like $50 a piece. I don't even know it was $50, man. And shit, we paid more for food than the goddamn tickets.
Wow.
But
Mm.
yeah, I was fucking
Sounds
hot,
good.
bro. Shake Shack had me pissed the fuck off, man. I'm like, yo,
Uh,
y'all motherfuckers are bugging out. But
Right.
Yeah.
they going for the money,
Yep.
and I'm not look. And I know these. Look, I live right out here outside of Gotham. I know they're gonna lose
Hmm.
their shit when they get run off the court by the Knicks. But look, don't blame him. Blame your front office, show.
yeah.
They're
Yeah,
just
but
trying to grab as much
if
money as possible.
if they making money, then the front office did their job.
Yeah, those ticket prices are crazy, bro. I looked at it.
It's
That
insane.
shit is
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy. Where we were sitting at, them seats are going for like $500, $600. No, my wife told me them seats was like $50. Some shits are going for like five, six, $700 a piece, yo.
Really?
You
Wow.
talking, yo, man? I'm
It's
talking
insane.
up. Like we were way up.
Right.
Like
Right.
you worried about like, I mean, I gotta hold on to the banister walking down these stairs because I don't want to fall. I might fall down there and end up falling over the edge or some shit like that. But that's what these teams are doing. They're trying to. They, I think it's broken, man. You're trying to grab players and trying to, all right, let's try to win, and they don't win, but you're making money, and then
Yep.
afterwards, the James Hardens, oh well, I don't want to be here. Well, you should have brought that motherfucker in the first place. That dude he ain't
Mm.
worried
Right.
about winning.
Well,
Right.
it depends on what your definition of winning is. So if I'm an
Mm.
owner and my definition of winning is I'm increasing my bottom line because
Hmm.
I'm making more money and I'm cashing in,
Yeah,
or I get an equity group to invest to put a cash infusion in my business, or if I get them to, because the equity group is like a bunch of people that got money,
yeah,
so they're gonna pay above market. They're gonna pay you above market because it's more than one person. So we pooled our money together and said, okay, well, it's worth 10, but we're gonna give them 12 billion, but it's worth
yeah.
10.
Yeah.
So
When you looked at that, like if Washington doesn't trade Anthony Davis, like I'm interested to see like who's bought into Washington because they keep Anthony
Hmm.
Davis. I wouldn't be surprised. Like if they're halfway decent, then they make a deal and bring in whatever somebody. I don't know who. I don't know
Right.
who. But these are corporations now. Like
yeah,
you look at Dallas, man. Like Jerry Jones. I was reading this recently, man. I forgot this guy bought the Cowboys for like $65 million. That team, if he sold
Wow.
that team right now, he'd probably get like 13, 14, $15 million for that fucking
At,
$1 billion for that
billion.
team.
at
Yeah.
least.
Or those soccer, they some of these teams, professional sports, they should look at how these soccer teams do because these soccer players get paid bank, crazy
Exactly.
bank, and they're not afraid. They're like, look, I'll put in this money, I'll go get this guy, and all
Right.
the other shit. And I don't think there's a lot of teams who are interested in winning. I think with the equity, I think there's a handful of teams in the NFL. It's the same teams. I think you got the Giants, they want to win.
Hmm.
They're going about it the wrong way, but they want to win. The Eagles, the Cowboys. I would say Pittsburgh, but I don't know. San Francisco. some of those teams. I think the NBA is the same teams: the Lakers, the Celtics. You want to throw the Knicks in there, San Antonio. You got a handful of teams that want to win. Same thing with baseball: Yankees, Dodgers, the Cardinals. All these other teams, they just like that revenue money.
Right.
Well, you got those teams that you just named. They have a pathway to win.
Yeah,
They got the pathway to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee, but
true.
the championships. I keep telling people, championships are not for owners. Championships are for fans. It
Yeah,
makes the fan base. It increases your fan base because people want to be associated with a winner, and it invigorates your fan base. But it doesn't so that they can pay more. So when
right.
the Knicks won the championship, he was licking his chops. Dolan was licking his chops because it's like, yo, that means now these seats in this tier, if they were, season tickets, if they were like $2,000, now I can get 8 for them because we're a
Right.
championship franchise. So it's kind of like that's how they're looking at it. They're not looking at it like, oh, we got the trophy and this and that. It's like, nah, we're looking at it like, okay, because if you think about it, if it was really for if the owners were really in it to win it like that, this ring ceremony for the New York Knicks after 53 years, you don't think like you should let the fans who've been long suffering be able to sit down and watch that game?
Hell no.
They should. They should. We talked about this earlier, Bishop. And again, my whole thing was you're taking away an opportunity, a moment from the fans, from the real fans.
Because I don't care about that. I don't care about that. The
Exactly.
real fans,
Hell no,
the
you
real
don't care
fan,
about that.
the real fans are the
Almighty
ones
Green.
the real fans are the ones who can afford to pay these ticket prices now. The rest of you saps, saps from 53 years ago. Hey,
FOH.
if you can't afford it, hey,
Too bad.
Fuck
yeah,
out of here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
what they telling you is go to Sam's Club, get your 85-inch TV,
Mm-hmm.
set it up downstairs.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Get my 85-inch.
Yeah. Sign up
Yeah.
for Cablevision.
Oh, hell no. Fuck cable vision.
I'm
Is
just
cable
telling you.
still are they still out there?
yeah. So and that's another streaming of the MSG because
Yeah.
whoever broadcast MSG, that's another source of revenue. That's theirs that they own. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's not like they losing any money. It's like
No.
And this is why like my crazy half baked idea was, you hurt them financially. You cut your
you're
cable.
not gonna
It's
hurt.
hard,
You're not
man.
gonna hurt.
Hard.
You're not
It's
gonna
hard.
hurt.
He
You're not gonna hurt.
does
them.
he own the Rangers too?
Yes.
Yes,
He owns a garden too, right?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. They have concerts all year round. Yeah, it's hard to hurt that dude, yo.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. That's
Taylor
all.
Swift is doing like 8 shows at the Garden, followed up by Beyonce. It's hard, man. Unless you kidnap this dude, you ain't hurting that dude, bro. They making this dude's got the Rangers, the Knicks, concerts, whatever type of
Yep.
shows, the dog show, whatever. I mean,
Yep.
Mhm.
College
I'm surprised
Bottom
you
Daily.
college basketball. I'm surprised you don't have Comic Con up in that piece.
That's reserved for
Maybe
what
I'm
is it called, Dave?
The Jarvis.
Jarvis Center.
Jarvis Center. I mean, maybe I'm crazy or whatnot, but again, you gotta start somewhere. You can't be unbeatable. You understand? You gotta start somewhere.
Well,
I
Right
don't
now,
disagree with you. I
right
think
now
it's
he
just
looking like
hard, man.
Thanos, nigga.
at a certain point, the money machine just keeps going on. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not.
Stat.
Can't impact. You can't impact the money machine. It's just the amount of money that you get doesn't change your quality of life because at a certain point it's like you're not even going to be able to spend it all. Like this is too much money for one person to spend in a lifetime. So now you're just accumulating credit. You're just accumulating green paper credit because you don't
Yeah,
like
he got the
how many
reality
more
check,
cars.
yo.
What I'm saying, like how many cars can you have? How many airplanes can you have? How many homes can you have? You can't live in them all.
No.
If you have the most opulent lifestyle, like
Mhm.
how many times can you go away? How many times can you do this? There's only so much money that one person can spend.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
Mr. Jones, we have the top of the line car just for you. Take it whenever you're ready. You pay us when you want to.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Exactly.
But Dave was right when Dave said earlier, man. Like, even when the Knicks was whack, I'm like, how this place sold out? This team is trash, yo.
It was
You
always
can't watch
sold
this
out.
shit.
And
Always.
that was the
Always, even
problem.
back in the day.
That was the problem then. That's when you wasn't supposed to be going to the Garden.
Right.
But it was cheap. It was cheap. It was cheaper to go.
Okay, but
It was much.
listen, you put something better out there on the floor than what you had. What we said? Shandon Anderson, Howard Isley,
Fan loyalty. Fan loyalty, yo. Fan
and they
loyalty.
like, yeah, we gonna keep coming anyway. What I think we had Anthony Bonner at one point.
Fan
Jerome
loyalty.
No, that was the heyday,
Jerome,
though, man.
Jerome
Fan,
James, exactly.
fan
Damn.
loyalty, dude. Fan loyalty.
Yeah,
Fan loyalty.
I mean, yeah, the ticket prices were what shit at that time. It might have been $50, $100, maybe.
It's the psychology of the consumer. You have brand loyalty. You have brand loyalty. It's like,
Man,
no, like
listen,
I'm gonna associate win, lose, or draw. This is my team. This is my team. And I'm gonna just if they have 17 win seasons, I'm still a fan. If they have 25 win seasons, I'm still a fan.
Right,
So
right.
and it's like you have people like that for 50 something years. This is the first time that I've seen them win a championship in my lifetime.
Right.
They may not never win another championship, but they
I
won
mean,
this.
we were alive when they won, but we
I
didn't.
don't remember that
Right.
shit. I was
We didn't
5, bro.
remember that shit. We were what,
Yeah.
3, 4 years old, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I was what 8. To be honest with you, I
What
remember.
was that? 73, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
5,
when
bro.
they won in 70 or 69 or something like that, and then they
70
won
and
again.
73.
Yeah,
Yeah.
70
So
70.
so
I mean, we
so
were
I
alive, but
remember
we didn't know nothing
hearing.
about that shit.
Well, yeah, and I was too young. I was too young to appreciate it.
Right, right.
So I heard it, but I really didn't have an appreciation. And also, at that age, it's kind of like, and this is, don't take this the wrong way, but it's kind of like, with the Yankees,
Mm.
the kids that came up with the Yankees,
Ah,
don't take it the wrong way. I'm just using it as an example that they
There we
came
go.
up when the Yankees were winning, and they kind of took it for granted that it was just easy.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. And then then it's been
Right.
a while since 2009. My freshmen this year were born in 2012.
it, it,
So
it's been it's been even longer from 1986. But who's counting?
right,
Exactly.
and exactly. But
Exactly.
the point is, those that were very young in '86, the Mets were good. 85,
Yes.
86, 87 were injuries. 88, so there was this expectation that the Mets were a better franchise, a winning franchise than they actually were historically. And then you realize, oh shoot, it's now 96. Oh, it's now 2006, and then the years start adding up, and the
Hmm.
grades start coming in,
And
and you
then
realize, oh, so that's my point.
and then they started making coke illegal in the dugout, and then there you go.
Oh boy.
What's that? No
Well, listen,
boozing? No boozing.
Watching the
listen,
Knicks win for
listen,
me.
y'all forget about the Cardinals. Back then, the Cardinals, they had some cokeheads too,
Mm.
And Pittsburgh had Doc Ellis pitch a no hitter on LSD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me
So,
TDs,
what was
baby,
he saying?
TDs.
Mhm.
let me move on to my last topic for tonight. We gotta work in the morning, all that good stuff. What do you guys think about this? See, USDA/FDA safety concerns. We've had a recent rash of recalls. The last one I heard of was 30,000 pounds of beef.
What?
Okay, issue. Yeah, recall. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's get what's the dude Elon Musk? Wasn't he responsible for this Dodge like eliminating all of these
Oh
positions
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
to
Maybe Fauci
streamline
will
the
shed some
government?
light on it.
Yeah,
Yo,
to
the article I
stream
sent
Plead
you,
the fifth.
Bishop.
yeah, to streamline the government efficiency. So let's holler at him about all of these cuts to save money, to save money. Let's holler at him to see how this is working out for us. And then you put like a former crackhead in charge of like
Flipping shit on toilet
vaccinations,
seat.
Yeah, yeah.
and swimming in wastewater and all kind of stuff, and it's like, yo, like this is what you get. This is what you
So
get.
let me just say this. So the Trump administration proposed a rule requiring food manufacturers to notify the FDA and provide safety data for substances added to foods that are generally recognized as safe, aka GRAS, shifting from a voluntary system to a mandatory notification to close a long-standing industry self-certification loophole.
I gotta get off this earth, man. I
Yeah.
can't,
Okay.
man.
I just heard a whole lot of words. What is
It,
what
it,
is
Yeah,
it means
what
it
does
means
that what does
absolutely
that
nothing.
mean?
It means nothing. It means
thank
nothing.
you.
It was
Okay.
gibberish.
Okay. I thought it was. I thought something was wrong with me.
It means
All
Nothing
nothing.
right.
wrong with you.
You're basically saying yes and no at the same time.
Mm.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
Yes.
I gotta get off
pretty
this
much
earth, man.
pretty
Yo,
much
Yeah.
what it amounts to.
I saw Spider Man Brand New Day. Send me that earth. I'll take my chances, yo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. That was
I'll
great. I
take my
really enjoyed that.
chances with
Over there.
Galactus or Thanos. I'll take my chances, yo.
Yeah.
This shit
So
But
right
again,
here,
yeah.
come
right,
on,
right,
man.
right. I get it. But
Yeah.
again, this rash that's been going on, whatnot. I mean, I just think there's cutbacks that are affecting this with the safety of the food that has been recalled and stuff like that. It's seemingly to me every week something new is getting recalled, be it
Well,
meat, produce, whatever the case, vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
well,
not.
back,
They're
back,
skipping steps, and
yeah.
it's harming them.
Where's
Well,
Where's your man at?
because you the people who normally the people normally would
Uh huh.
be responsible for working in these meat processing plants
Right.
and processing like lettuce and taking care of animals and doing the eggs and all of that
Mhm.
stuff and cleaning up all of those folks have been rounded up by ICE
I was about
and
to say that.
deported.
Yeah.
Where's
I was about to say. Yep.
And
where,
the,
where
Again.
Where's
so
Mr.
you
Money
have like
Man at?
you have
Yeah.
produce, the people who are working on the farms, because it's like, okay, well, you have farms. There's not American labor
Hmm.
working on the farms. These are like migrant workers
Yep.
who
Right.
coming over and living on those farms and working on those farms. And so that was a lot of your labor, a lot of your cheap labor working on the farms. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these farms, so whether you realize it or not, a lot of these generational farms have been lost because they can't
Mm-hmm.
compete. We've lost
And
contracts
why
with
is that?
like China and all of these places, like pork
What,
producers, pork
why is
Why
producers.
is that?
Well, back in 1976, when Lyndon B. Johnson was president, somebody's going to come up with something to say, well, this is not nothing new.
this is
This is
not?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, again, again, again.
They
I'm
don't even
still
have
waiting
nobody to
for.
wash the lettuce.
I'm still waiting for all of these huge contracts that the farmers are going to get. That they need to buy huge tractors and do this and do that. It's like, well, who you going to have working on the farm? Because all of my laborers, you've deported them. So
Don't be. I'm still waiting for Galactus to give me my damn surfboard,
So
yo.
so now so now what we're doing with farms and whether people realize it or not, Bill Gates is buying up all of these
Uh,
defunct
Thank
farms
you.
is because we want to set up data centers, and
Mm.
these data centers will replace the farms and things for food sources is going to be replaced. So we're going to be smarter, but we're going to be hungry, and we're not going to
Mm.
have any water to drink.
Right.
Mm.
It's funny,
So
man. They cut the FDA, and the one who instituted the FDA was Nixon. He was a you don't know what he
Yeah.
yeah,
was. What his I find it funny, man. Like I hear people
Watergate.
talking like, "Oh, the FDA." And I was like, "Yo, man, no, 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 no,
well,
no." Nixon
measles.
instituted that. You know
Yeah,
exactly. Don't
Mm.
play that game. You act like I
so I'm
don't
saying
know.
measles, mumps, rubella,
Hmm.
polio.
Mm.
Because not only did you cut the FDA, but now you're saying people don't need to get vaccinated. So we're probably going to turn back into a third world country where all of these diseases that were pretty much eradicated
Dormant.
are
Right.
going to have a resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
he was
very
wearing
true.
well,
those.
well, you know what? It's all part of the plan because they figure if the diseases are running rampant, then the immigrants won't want to come here.
Dave is out of control.
Yeah,
Dave is
but
out of
that's it,
control.
man. I'm still waiting for Galactus, man. I'm like, hey, man, when you gonna give me the power of cosmic? All I need is a surfboard, bro.
Well,
Mm.
Just saying, man. I mean, look, Bishop. Yo, I sent Bishop an article, man. We about that shit a couple days ago, man.
Yeah.
Right.
This shit is. This dude on my job was talking to me about this, man. I'm like, yo, man, why are you talking to me about this shit, man? Like, why? He was like, you keep a pulse, you keep your finger on the pulse. I'm like, I'm not.
You know,
What do you want me to do, man? What?
yeah,
I ain't Doctor Strange. What you want me to do? Cast some
yeah.
spell and shit?
Right.
you already know it's a shit show. You already know it's a
I
shit
was
show.
like, come
Yeah, I
on,
don't.
man.
Hell yeah.
Are you kidding
He said,
me?
I don't want to
Go
be
talk.
here either.
Go talk to your
You
boy,
know it's a
man.
shit.
Dude's
You know
hiding
it's
out
a
in
shit
fucking
show.
food containers, man. I mean, come on, man. Swapping
Yeah,
plates and shit like
exactly.
that, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing you wouldn't want is Trump to be your travel agent.
You know, it's like, yo, I'm getting off that
What
plane. I'm getting off that
Dave on
plane,
the roll?
but y'all stay on. Y'all
Let's
stay
stay on.
on.
Yo, I'd be mad as
Because if they're gonna blow it up, they're gonna blow it up without me on it.
crazy.
Without me on it.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
It's like,
It's
yo,
insane.
see you when I
Yo,
see you. See you when I see you.
Exactly. Exactly.
yo, like, the dude at my job, he's like talking to me, man. He was like, yo, why are you so calm, man? I'm like, it's not that I'm calm, man. I was like, look, man, this shit is ridiculous, bro. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
man. I'm at the point, man. I was like, I don't even watch the news anymore, man. I'm watching fucking Ghost in the Shell, man. For God's sakes,
Mm.
man.
It's like,
I
yo,
was like, yo,
Mm.
you wore me the fuck down, man. I'm like,
it's
come on, man.
it's
This
so
shit is
crazy.
ridiculous.
It's so crazy now. I'd watch Law and Order SVU before I watch the news. That's the one
Oh yeah.
with the rape. Like every episode is about rape.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like, yo, like I'll watch that before I watch
Yeah.
the news,
Oh
yo.
boy.
And it's like, yo,
Mhm.
like what? Like this is the most ridiculous circumstance about sexual assault. But it's like every episode, like how many times you gonna talk about it? You gotta come up with
Right.
more creative ways.
We got it. You're right. Right. The other crimes are getting jealous.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can we get a feature?
Oh jeez.
Oh God.
Gentlemen, it's that about that time. About that time. Always a
Yeah.
great talk with you guys. Always a great time with you guys. Love y'all. We'll be
Yeah.
back next week at 8:30. Thank you guys. Also, like I said, like, share, and support. Share, subscribe to the R is Untitled YouTube page. I'd appreciate that. Hopefully, everybody that's on this line has done so. It'd be appreciated.
Yep.
If you didn't do so, uh, once again, we'll be back next week at 8:30 with some more time. And let me just say this: if you have any topics you would like for the esteemed panel and I to talk about, hit me up at R. Damn, what the hell is it, Dan? Oh my God, did I forget the damn email? Untitled
That's a long
Show.
email, bro.
Yes, it is. Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. Untitled Show 777 at gmail.com. So with that being said, you guys
This
all
is
have a blessed weekend.
Next topic,
so,
man.
yo, you
How the
can't remember
hell do
your
we get to Earth 616, man? I
you
want
can't
y'all to
remember
change
your
that.
What's
you
that?
can't remember your
616?
own
Yeah,
your
man.
Yeah.
Earth 3, man, with fucking Dark Side. I'll take my chances, bro.
All right,
Yeah.
gentlemen. You
All
guys
right.
have
Good
a
night, people.
wonderful weekend. Take
All
care.
right. Now you too, Chuck.